Okay guys, another thing that was, I don't even want to say difficult, impossible, was the dryer, the blower. She had to be muzzled, she stressed everybody out. It was a big to-do to get her hair dried. Alright, so I'm going to show you some of the work we've done. The first thing I'm going to do is recall her over to me, put a leash on just to have it on, and then I'll show you how I use my e-collar to hold her accountable for being nice and calm in front of the dryer. So if she's outside, I'm going to recall her to me. Tone, here she comes. Hi, baby girl. Sits. Good. Stay. Leash goes on. Okay, stay. I'm going to show her the dryer. Okay, I'm going to turn the dryer on. Remember, I recalled her to me into a stay, so if she moves away, that's justification for me to correct and then direct to recall her back. All right. Good job. You did so good. So as you guys can see, stay. Good. She's really respectful of the dryer. I'm going to brush her again because she was totally dry just now. And it ruffled her up a little bit. But anyway, she's not fazed at all by the dryer. She understands. No nonsense. And if she's compliant, it's over really quickly. That's a good girl. Yes, she is. She gets nothing but praise. Again, sit. Now would be a good time to feed her something good. Not as a brag though. Okay? That's my baby girl. Yes, she is. Sit. Oh, she's a good girl. Yes, she is. Okay. No. Good. Break. Yeah. Hi guys. We are going to do some grooming stuff with Nova, which was a big problem in the past. Specifically, the hairbrush, the dryer, and they don't know about the nails because they always had the vet do them. But if I were to bet, I don't think they could do her nails themselves, at least calmly. Okay, so a couple things with her. She needs to be brushed 30 minutes every day at least to keep mats free. Look at you. Good girl. And they were having trouble doing that because she wouldn't stay still, she would whine, she would walk away, and it just made brushing her sort of a drag. Good girl. She's out of command, but these are good choices she's making on her own because we've patterned it so much. Okay? Good girl. Alright, so to brush her, if she wasn't already right here in a down, I would recall her over from wherever she was in the room, put her in a down, and then I would start to brush her. If she were to give me any nonsense, fidgeting, running away, whining, trying to paw or bite at the brush, everything stops. She gets a correction and a recall if needed, and then we reset. So we're just going to spend some time brushing. The good thing about her is that if you do brush her every day, there shouldn't be any mats So the brushing is painless. It's when the dog starts to develop mats and knots that the brushing becomes painful and they don't want to have it done. And you can't really blame them. Now the owner had said with this breed, you're supposed to be able to separate the hair, kind of part it, and then brush one way and then the other. And it kind of helps you brush right down to the skin, which I can see why, because you really want to make sure that there's no mats, right? She feels good because I've been keeping up. I brush her every single night and every single morning, right? So she feels nice and feathery and wispy. There's no knots anywhere, okay? Now obviously to get her tail and her back end and her legs, you need her to stand up, which I can show you how we do that. But it's nice for when she lays down, you can get her back, you can get her neck. Now of course, when I get her neck, I do take her collar off. I do that at the end. Nova, break, good girl. So you release her, and that kind of gets her to stand up, and then you can just encourage her to stay standing. And then you can sort of brush each side. You can get her underbelly. Look how compliant she's being. I didn't brush her yet this morning because I knew I was going to be making this video. So we get the back of her legs. We get the sides of her legs. We get her tail. The tail is probably what I spend most of my time on. I really don't ever know when to stop because there's just so much hair. But the important thing, again, is that she's allowing me to do this without complaining. And look, I'm not restraining her, okay? So she knows that if she makes a decision to walk away, she's going to get a correction and a recall. Get her butt hair and the back of her legs. You can also get her belly, fronts of her legs. Woo, look at all that hair. And this is after me brushing every single day, at least twice or sometimes even 3 times a day. This is a girl. Getting her belly. Oh, good girl. Sit. Good girl. All right, now I'm going to get her neck. So obviously, for this part, you do have to take the collar off. No. Sit. Good. That's a good girl. So, when there's no collar on, you have to rely on your relationship with her. So my NO, my no, is very powerful because of our history. Snap of the fingers. It's typically followed by some sort of correction. Okay, and she knows that. She knows that if she doesn't listen, I'm going to put the collar back on. All right. It's something that you get with your experiences with this dog, showing her that you're serious in correcting when she makes a bad choice and not just letting it go. Brushing all behind her ears. It's a common spot for mats. Okay. And then I'm going to actually have her stand up. Break. Come here, baby, break. Sit. Sit. Good, and sit. And I'm gonna get under her mouth and her chest area without the collar on. Yeah, that's a good girl. Good. What a good girl. All right, so I'm pretty sure I've gotten every part of her body. She feels mat-free. She feels really good. Her attitude's really good about letting me do this. So now's the time, if you want, after this is over, not as a bribe, but just as a special treat, you can give her something she really likes. A treat. Good girl. Yes, yes, she is a good girl. I just want to reiterate that correcting your dog for bad choices is not going to ruin your relationship. She's actually become more affectionate with me since we've had some experiences together. What a good girl. Okay. Hi, I know. What a good girl. Okay. So if she already didn't just do this automatically, like if you're like, oh, okay, it's time to do nose nails, she's somewhere in the house. Recall with the tone, put her in and down. That's the first step. That way, if she gets up, runs away, you can correct and recall her back. All right, you're so puffy. Second step, after getting into her into the down, is getting her onto her side. You can tell we've practiced this before. If she doesn't do it this easy for you, you can use low pressure on the e-collar paired with body pressure moving her over, okay? Good girl. And this is also a way that you can brush her with ease, okay? What's a good girl? Show her the dremel. Okay? I'm gonna turn the dremel on. Believe it or not, you guys are seeing the very first session. We have not done any dremel work with her at all. So if I turn this dremel on and she whips her head around, I turn the dremel off, I correct, I reset, and I repeat. I have this set to a 7. Good. So every step of the way, we are maintaining calmness, okay? That's a good girl. How does she feel about me grabbing her paws? For some dogs, this is enough for them to whip their head around or even just walk away. If they've had a bad experience with nails in the past or a bad experience at the vet, see, like, I try to grab her paw and she moves it away. We're gonna try to desensitize her to that. Good. This could be a real nightmare with dogs who have had bad experiences in the past. So we're showing them, hey, this doesn't hurt. We know what we're doing, but you can't really show a dog if they're so focused on leaving. You have to have a way to hold them here, okay? And notice I say hold them here, but I'm not restraining her. She is free to walk away. She just knows she's gonna get a correction and a recall. So my next step is going to be to turn the dremel on and touch it to a nail without the side with the sandpaper, okay? Because I wanna make sure I'm showing her every step of the way. This doesn't hurt. Good girl. A little bit of uncomfortable, so right there, I can correct her and get her back into that calm state. Pressing like a metronome. Good, and then it stops. So she learns, as long as I stay like this, e-collar does not turn on. Pretty simple, right? I know for a fact this doesn't hurt. She doesn't know that, so I have to show her. Good. See how we repeat it? And after I've shown her, if you lift your head up, I'm gonna stop this and e-collar turns on and push you back. She says, okay, I'll just stay here. Good. And then I'll give her a little body massage. Good job. So she says, oh, that's not that bad. I don't know why I was ever concerned. Because it's all in her head. That's why. So now we can try touching the sandpaper. Actually, I'm gonna do my own nail because sometimes the noise will get them. See right there? I don't know if you saw it on the video. As soon as I started dremeling my own nail and she heard that sound, she pulled her paw back. That's how strong these dogs have an aversion to this dremel. But if you're able to create a dog who thinks it's more aversive to fight the dremel than actually have the dremel done themselves, they will comply. Again, this is my own nail. Okay? And now I'm going to touch it to her nail. Shh. That's her nail. Good girl. So right now, she is with me 100%. She is listening. She is paying attention to how it feels. And she's paying attention to everything that's happening. She's taking it all in her brain and she's going to remember it. So I'm keeping things super successful on purpose. I'm not saying, oh, for our first session, let's dremel her nails down to the bone. Because I don't want it to create any aversions. I want her to say, that was it? Yeah, that was it. So I'm just tapping, and I know for a fact that doesn't hurt. I just did it to my nail. It actually feels pretty good. So she says, oh, that was it. And I can say, yep, that was it. So now we just tap to each nail. Let her feel the sensation. Click, 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 dialing up. That's it, and then I stop. So I'm teaching her, don't be concerned with what I'm doing here. It's not up to you. I want you to stay like this, and whenever you come out of that position is when the e-collar turns on. I made it from a 7 to a 12. Because the first pressure wasn't enough to motivate her to go back down. So now I repeat. I'm not putting any actual pressure on. This is just for her to feel the sensation and get used to it. Very good girl. And learn, don't pick your head up and don't move your paw all around. Good. Very good. And that's every nail on that back paw. That's it. That's all it is. Good girl. Let's try another paw. Good. Good girl. There's so much hair, we're gonna have to trim some of the hair. Which I'm assuming they couldn't do at the groomer because she's just so wild, you know. Good girl. Back paws are typically a little bit easier than the front paws. That's why I always start with the back paws. Now I'm gonna move to the front paws. So what I like to do, these nails are really long. I like to anchor the paw that I'm doing down onto the ground, and it makes dremeling the nail a little bit smoother. So, and then I'll separate the nail that I'm gonna be doing. Good. What has she not tried since I corrected her? She has not tried lifting her head up and turning it over to me. Because what is that saying? It's saying, I'm gonna threaten you. If you don't stop, this is my polite way of saying, please stop, because my mouth is my weapon. We wanna keep the weapon pointed away. No. Shh. Good. My shh sound is what I do if I don't have my e-collar handy, because I obviously need a third hand. So it's more important to me to do something immediately rather than stop, take the time to get my e-collar, and then she's had success with swinging her head around. Oh my God, these nails are so long. I can't wait to actually dremel them. Good. So I'm telling her, don't bring your paw back. It doesn't hurt. Whatever you have in your head, it's made up. Good. Get another nail. Good. So she says, oh, if I just lay here, nothing happens. Yep, nothing happens. Literally all she has to do. Good girl. One paw left.
She doesn't have any dew claws, so that makes it a little bit easier. Good girl. Good girl. That's a good girl. Okay, we've touched every single nail. We've gotten some reps in of when she picks her head up, pressure, she goes back down. But pay attention to something else. After I'm done dremeling, even though I'm not touching her, I'm not over her, she doesn't just pick herself up and move. It's because she knows this whole thing is a conversation that I've put her in, and she can't just leave. So she is waiting for either release or further instruction. Good girl. And you can use this skill of putting your dog on their side, having them remain calm no matter what, for anything. It could be brushing, it could be cutting her paw hair, it could be dremeling her nails, it could be checking her ears, it could be checking her fur for ticks, maybe you just went on a hike. It could be giving her ear drops or eye drops or brushing her teeth or inspecting her tail or, really whatever you need to do. But the skill of lay on your side and be calm is priceless. And a lot of people don't have that with their dogs. Everything's a struggle. Nova. She says, yes, Julie. Break. Good girl.